D1sco here, and today I'm reacting to the Dead by Daylight Quality of Life Initiative 2025 Phase 1, whatever the hell that means. I have no idea what that means. Let's jump into this. Dead by Daylight will be undergoing a substantial quality of life initiative which should address many long-standing concerns and frustrations our players have been experiencing. This initiative will take place over the course of 2 phases. The first runs from April to June, while the second runs from July to December. For a look at what's scheduled, check out the roadmap below. So Phase 1 says gameplay, so we got anti-slugging surrender option, gamma settings, go next prevention. I have no idea what any of this means. Hiding and body blocking prevention, spawn rules and map offering, balancing, improved AFK bots. The AFK bots is nice, but I don't understand like any of this. Quality of life, bulk blood point spending, let's go. That's gonna be nice because it does. A lot of newer players love to complain about the blood point situation with the game. Newer, older players, I've noticed, are super happy because they made everything cheaper and they give us multiple ways to get through them faster. But I've seen so many. I remember looking on YouTube and seeing a person complaining about the blood point situation, and it was only like a handful of people, and everyone else was just like, it's fine, like you know. And I'm definitely in the camp that's fine. So I'm curious what they mean by bulk blood point spending. I mean, if it makes it that much better, that's really nice. New quest system. I want to be. I'm assuming that's replacing the daily rituals, and I'm not really surprised about that. Me and Orange occasionally do daily rituals, but like a lot of people are frustrated because Survivor mains basically rarely get to do them because there's just so many killer ones, and they're okay. Like the blood points, you know, the blood points are okay, right? And they're not. They're okay. I don't mind them, but I'm assuming that's going to be like a new thing, either over or added onto that. What else we got here? Mori's perk presets. Or, sorry, I read that wrong. More perk presets. Because I think we have 3 right now, so I'm assuming that means they're going to give us more customization and perk, like, slots, so you can have more builds. So that's definitely going to be interesting. Preview your perks in lobby. I'm not fully sure what that means, but let's go. For Phase 2, we have for Phase 2 gameplay, we got anti-slugging continued improvements, anti-tunneling, anti-camping, MMR update, map and key item balancing. I'm curious what the MMR update is, because when they did that the last time, from what I remember from something Orange sent me, they actually did make the MMR basically like actually skill based. But the problem was, if your MMR was too high, it got so bad you had to wait like, I think it was like an hour or something like that to play. So they changed it to giving you a bit more of leeway. So they like moved the MMR thing back, so that way you get to match with more players. So I'm curious what that means, because they've acknowledged that the game isn't really competitive in that way anymore, which is why they removed the pips, like removed the ability to lose pips, because they realized people really don't give a flying crap anymore about that. Like, we're in it for blood points to work on characters, and that's about it. Like the game might have been more competitive back in the day, but due to how hell this game is, but over time it like has moved away from that. So I wonder if the MMR update is going to be somewhat changing the MMR to maybe fit how current players are like view the game, but we'll see. Map and key item balancing, I'm not fully sure what that means, but I guess quality of life, keyboard and mouse on consoles. That's interesting. Not complaining, but it's just interesting. Custom game improvements, accessibility improvements, increase prestige rewards. Oh, hey. Reduce login steps. I don't know if we need. I really don't feel like the login steps are all that bad. It's just you click, the space button and it just loads for a while. So I'm not sure what they mean by login steps. Maybe there's something I'm not understanding. The prestige rewards doesn't fully surprise me. We have up to prestige 12 right now, and I have a character actually there. And I know a lot of people have been wanting them to add more prestige rewards, like maybe an incentive to get characters to prestige 100 or something, because after prestige 12 you get literally nothing except for blood, except for like the usual stuff, except for like map offerings, other offerings like blood point ones, or things to mess with the hatch or whatever, or items, perks, stuff like that. And more, including bug fixes for long-standing issues. Okay, and they have a bit more info on some of them here, so that's good. To accommodate for the scope of this initiative, we have decided to delay several of our upcoming releases, including chapters, rifts, events, modifiers, and collections. So that means there will not be a PTB tomorrow. I didn't even know there was going to be one. But rest assured that we did not make this decision lightly. I know a lot of people were like wanting this, for them to just say fuck it and just like not update the game for a while to just focus on issues. But I never minded it because they always fixed like a number of issues in addition to giving us a new thing. So I didn't fully felt like the game needed it, because we had updates, because they were like updating a ton of stuff with the chapter. But I guess they're finally doing that, so that's interesting. We feel confident that delaying our upcoming releases to prioritize this quality of life initiative will ultimately make Dead by Daylight stronger than ever. We're always listening to our players, allegedly, and this has been a long time coming. Looking for a more comprehensive breakdown of everything lined up in Phase 1. We've got you covered. So, the surrender state. The team has been working on a surrender feature, which should limit player frustration on both sides, thank God. To get it right, we first need to identify the situations where its use would be most appropriate, leading us to two scenarios. All remaining survivors have been select survivor. All remaining survivors are bots, killer. Once these instances occur, players will be able to use the surrender option, ending the trial while retaining the blood points they've earned and escaping the disconnect. One, that's really nice, but I don't get it fully. The survivor thing, I guess, makes sense if you all get select, but that rarely happens. And then the killer one, I get that people love to complain about the bots, although me and Orange do not care. So, come at me, bro. But I don't. But like, I feel like the killers are basically never gonna get to use that, really, unless if they run into like such frustrated survivors. But that's like so insanely rare to happen. So I feel like they should tweak the surrender system. I don't know. I just feel like the killer I just feel like the incentives are a little too rare. But that's just me. Gamma adjustments, I have no idea what the hell that means either, so I'm kind of excited to see what that is. Dead by Daylight can get a little dark, not just thematically, and sometimes excessive darkness can hinder playability. We're introducing the ability to adjust gamma settings on all platforms, allowing you to find a sweet spot without sacrificing the intended artistic direction. So it's just a visual thing. Okay, I don't care anymore. Go next. Prevention. I mean, useful if you need it, but like, I don't care anymore. The go next expression refers to instances where a survivor deliberately does everything in their power to quickly go to their next game, including walking up to the killer and standing still, running to a hook and repeatedly pointing at it, or most commonly, intentionally failing skill checks while on hook. To desensitize and properly penalize this behavior. Oh, okay, I definitely like this. For me and Orange have run through this a lot. I really like this for those players that just give up on hook or give up during a match. Especially if they just give up on hook and like start killing themselves. I think this is going to be really nice against those against them, because it's not fun for anybody. If it, I mean, obviously for the character, it's like, oh well, oh, they're killing themselves on hook, cool. That's a free kill. But like if you're the survivors, you're like, God damn it, why is he doing that? So I think this is actually a good thing. This is probably the only one so far I'm actually excited about. Just because the surrender thing, I feel like they just made the situations too rare. The other thing was just a visual thing, so I made down much to talk about there. To distinguish and private penalties behavior, we'll be implementing measures that will help us identify when a player is attempting to go next. Once identified, they'll receive a disconnection penalty point. Get fucked, bitch. And lose an entire grade. Get fucked, pussy. We'll be keeping a close eye on the system to ensure its accuracy. To be fair, the only time I feel like I would get hurt by this is if my I'll have times where my computer kind of acts up on me, but that's it. I also don't play the game super often, so to ensure its accuracy, but we're confident that this will help alleviate the issue. On the other hand, we like to reward players who stick it out through those challenging matches, even when things take a dire turn. We'll be moving forward with a new emblem-based multiplier that grants additional blood points, hell yeah, during your following match, with the bonus stacking over consecutive trials. So, for players like me and Orange, who like basically rarely DC, and we rarely DC, and I can't think of a single time either of us have just like intentionally killed ourselves. It never happens. We actually try to play the game. So I think that's nice that we're kind of getting rewarded a little. That it sounds like we'll be getting rewarded for actually wanting to play. So they're going to give us a new emblem-based multiplier, and then that's going to give additional blood points during the following match, and it'll stack. So that's really exciting. That means that me and Orange and other players who actually play the game and aren't rage quitting and aren't a bunch of little fucking pussies, we'll actually get rewarded. We'll get more blood points to spend, so that way we can work on characters more. So that's really exciting. Extreme hiding and body blocking prevention. I don't really understand this one, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I know what body blocking is, and the hiding, I don't. The hiding, I know that one. Like, me and Orange run to that a lot. So I feel like whatever this is gonna get a lot of use. I remember Orange was trying to play for me once. He was going to be like a friendly killer and try to actually make progress for me in the because I had some challenges that he was going to do, and yeah, we ran into this issue. There was 2 survivors left. One of them was waiting for the other one to die to go to the hatch. The other one was hiding, and we were just trying to be friendly, but because neither of them were doing gens or anything, we were kind of stuck there. So eventually we just had to say screw it and actually somewhat try. But yeah, extreme hiding refers to survivors drawing out an unwinnable match by ignoring their objective and waiting at the clock, which a lot of survivor players seem to do. A lot of people really like to do that I've noticed. To combat this, we're changing the way AFK crows operate, so they can more accurately identify when a player is deliberately avoiding engagement with their gameplay objective. Once a player receives crows, their location will be immediately revealed to. I like that because the AFK crows aren't even that useful. Like now, like they make a bunch of noise, and you can like, if you just run around enough, you get rid of them. And I mean, they're helpful because they make noise, but that's it. Like, other than that, they're not useful. So the fact that now they're actually gonna like reveal the location of that person to the killer is actually kind of nice. I feel like that's a good change to do. We'll also be incorporating a feature that allows players to lose collision after receiving a furtive K-Crow, which should prevent instances of body block related griefing. Okay, that's that one's kind of dumb, but the hiding part I'm definitely excited about. Map offerings. We recognize the map offerings are a bit divisive. Oranges, some players enjoy them. Some players feel they can grant unfair advantage. Orange is a part of the latter half, and I've kind of learned to be in the latter half group as well. The people who enjoy them are basically just the people that like that map. They're trying to send you specifically to that map on purpose. In fact, I had a match where 4 map offerings were played. 3 of them went to the same map, 1 went to a different map. We got the one that went to a different map, and immediately someone disconnected. Like, that's how much people love map offerings sometimes, because they know that map well. So they know if I get this map, I increase my chances of messing with the killer. I increase the odds of kind of messing with them. Me and Orange are in the latter camp, because anytime we see a map offer, we're immediately scared and nervous for those reasons. And immediately we're kind of just like, great, like I so want to play the game now. So I'm really excited to see what they do to this. The fact that they automatically bypass both the map and realm repetition system can also add to that frustration, that too. Moving forward, oh, thank God, behavior. Moving forward, map offerings will no longer guarantee the appearance of a given map, but rather increase its chances by 20%. Note that they will not stack. Oh, thank God they don't stack either. Let's fucking go. We're also looking to make it so map offerings, as well as several other types of offerings, will remain a secret during one. That's fair too. Because me and Orange don't like seeing the map offering like flip over, because then we're just like, great, and immediately we don't really want to play. So I think that's actually good, because that should keep people like playing the game more when a map offering is played. That way your decision to remain in the match will not be swayed by external factors. See, they understand. Also, get fuck you map offering, little fucking bitches. But I'm really excited about this, because I think overall this is a better system. It keeps the map offerings like in the game for the people that like them, and it also kind of keeps everything more, kind of how they want it. But the fact that now we won't see them when we load in is nice for someone. I know Orange has like wanted to DC a couple times when he sees a map offering it, but we never really have. But there's people that do. There's people that will literally just leave the match immediately because the map offering was played. So that should help out there. I mean, it might not once people kind of start catching on and whatnot, but at least for a bit it should work, and for the most part I think that'll work and be good. Plus the fact that it doesn't guarantee the map but increases the chances is nice as well, so I like that one. There's been a couple so far I like, a couple of them that I don't, but so far like I'm liking the changes so far. Spawn rules, that could be interesting. Survivor spawn placements can have a significant impact on a trial's outcome. Yes, an observation that's been repeatedly recognized by our community. It's become clear that survivors spawning separately and thereby covering more ground allows them to gain notable advantage and complete their objective. I mean, yeah, but they're also like away from each other, so if you whoop one's ass, like it's going to take the other ones a bit of time to get there. We're changing the default survivor spawn rules to ensure that each survivor will spawn within 12 meters of one another on the same floor, if applicable. To accommodate for this change, shroud offerings will be adjusted accordingly. Okay. I mean, not terrible, but it's kind of whatever as well. I feel like the people that were complaining about that were a bunch of crybabies in a way. I get what they're coming from, but at the same time, it's like, if you're all far apart, like that's one survivor on like every gen, on like a couple gens and whatnot, like you really can't handle that. like at the end of the day, you're the killer and you still have all the advantages. But I guess it's fair, it makes sense. But in some ways, I feel like this is worse because now you're putting them together, so there's going to be like more survivors on one gen rushing the fuck out of you. So in some places, that's one of those things where you can't do anything to make people happy. If they spawn too far, they get this noticeable advantage of being far apart, and then the killer has to like travel stuff. You make them closer, then now they're going to be able to do gens together, and then the killer is going to continue to complain because now they're getting gen rushed immediately because survivors are like working together on gens, making the gens like go by quicker. So really, there's no good way to do survivor placements in the spawn. So I feel like the people that were complaining about that are just kind of crybabies for that reason, because there's no good way to do it. And what they had, has worked literally since the game started, and despite the supposedly notable advantage that they have, like despite that, I felt like everything was fine. But now you're kind of putting the ball in the killer's court even more, because now the survivors have another advantage on top of that. Yes, they're closer together, but that means that they can do gens and stuff with more of them together, so then gens are gonna like inevitably finish faster because there's more people working on them. So it's one of those changes where you can't do anything to make it better. So improved AFK bot detection. Players that use AFK bots can be frustrating to have in your trial. And we're working on improvements to our detection systems so that we can quickly identify and penalize them accordingly. I don't really know what that means by AFK bots. I'm assuming that means like some sort of system where a player just like AFKs the whole game or something, or like the player themselves is AFK but they have some thing like controlling the game. I don't really understand that one, honestly. I'm gonna need help with some of these. That's what I'm gonna need help with, because I don't understand it at all, but that's just me. Bulk blood point spending. I was intrigued by this one. To speed up general blood lab activity, wearing a button that will allow you to spend blood points. That's honestly not bad. That's kind of nice. The bulk blood point setting sounds pretty good, honestly. Quest system. Previously announced last year, the quest system was part of a larger update to the archives and risks. Oh, okay, so it wasn't what I was thinking. That's fair. So expect more information in articles specifically dedicated to that. For now, know that we will be reworking the challenge system as well as the rituals. Never mind. to reduce the grind, make it easier to earn rewards, and increase the overall level of fun. To be fair, they are kind of tedious to some extent, like, and it also doesn't help that like if you're players like me especially, you suck as like most of the characters in the game and whatnot, so then it's really a grind and unfun. Perk loadout and preview. After a successful round of A/B testing, I don't know what that means, we'll be allowing players to see their own perk loadouts while in a lobby, as well as adding additional perk loadout slots. We believe these changes will be an overall benefit to Daly's health, further establishing a positive gaming environment for all our players. We'd also like to thank you for your patience and understanding during this time. We'll be back at our anniversary broadcast in May to recap Part 1 and provide deeper insight into Part 2 of our roadmap. Thanks for spending time in the fog, the Daily team. So overall, I feel like it's a mixed bag. I felt like most of the changes are fine. There was only one that I'm kind of just like, that's kind of whatever. Just because it doesn't really affect anything, or like, obviously it'll be nice for some players, but overall it's just kind of whatever. And some of them I felt like were just a bunch of crybabies that didn't understand how much worse things could get. So I could see some of these having unintended consequences to the players that were whining about them. Like the survivors now spawning within 12 meters Because now I feel like it's going to be like a 2v8 match, in the sense that, like, in mine and when me and Orange have played 2v8, gens just go flying, and it really feels like there's nothing you can do because there's just too many survivors on, like, any gen at any given point. So I feel like that frustration is now going to be in, like, the normal 1v4 system because of that. But overall, I feel like everything was good overall. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the algorithmic garbage. It helps us out a lot and it means a lot to us. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.